Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to bring you my month in review for August. Sad part for me about this is that I'd actually meant to try and make some videos in August, but I ended up picking up a project outside of work that I had to work on, so work just kind of consumed me. And that's also why I only read 5 books in August. To be more accurate, it was 4 books and a graphic novel. So yes, that was only really 1 book a week. God, is this what normal people feel like? I hate it. Together, those 5 books created an average star rating of 3.9. So that's actually probably one of the lowest I've had in a couple months. But there were some high points. The one book that I did rate 5 out of 5 stars this month was The Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson. This was the 3rd and final book in her Remnant Chronicles trilogy. This is a YA fantasy trilogy where the first book you probably saw quite a bit. It was called The Kiss of Deception. I know I've mentioned it where I said the neat thing about that novel was the sort of, for lack of a better word, conceit of the story was that you're reading 3 perspectives: a princess who's run away from an arranged marriage, the prince she was supposed to marry, and an assassin who's been sent to kill her. Now, obviously, you know who the princess is, but between the assassin and this guy she was supposed to marry, you go in reading their perspectives, not knowing which is which. You know the characters' names, and that's it. You kind of have to guess which is the assassin and which is the prince. And I love the 3rd book because it brought in a lot of things which for me were sort of mentioned in the first 2 books, but weren't quite developed enough in my opinion. But then the 3rd book says, hi, remember all this mythology I've been laying all the seeds for? Watch it come into front and center and make a lot of sense. I thought it was fantastic. The characters have come so far, and to see the path they've taken and reach the conclusion, I was perfectly satisfied with the conclusion, and it was everything I wanted it to be, and I was so happy. There is a book I'd like to mention. I rated it 3 stars, but I wish I'd been able to rate it more. And it's not because I didn't enjoy it, but because I think the title is misleading. And that is The Soul of an Octopus by Cy Montgomery. Now, I picked up this audiobook in a 2-for-1 sale, and I'd seen it around. I'd heard people say they really liked it. But the thing that bothers me about this book is that the subtitle is a surprising exploration into the wonder of consciousness, which is why I picked up this book. Because I was like, how do you study consciousness while studying an octopus, or multiple octopus? And this book really has nothing to do with consciousness. So the thing I was most interested in, the thing that is the subtitle, doesn't really have anything to do with the book. You essentially follow Montgomery's growing obsession with octopus, but that's it. And while that's not a bad story, it's quite a charming and lovely story. It's not what I was told I was going to be getting, because it was not really an exploration into consciousness. You get a couple random factoids on the octopus and the brain and such, but that's it. And so I was kind of just left confused and a little disappointed by it. I wrote 1 blog post that I figure I'll mention here. It was called Facilis Discontest Averno. I have a bad habit of classical Latin pronunciation. It is a quote taken from Virgil. It means the descent into Avernus is easy, loosely translated as the descent into hell is easy. It is the creed of the Shadowhunters in Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunter universe, and I used it to write a post on adaptation where I talked about the new TV series. It's really not all that new, it's already aired its 1st season, Shadowhunters, which airs on Freeform, formerly known as ABC Family, and I pointed out 1 adaptive change that I did like versus 1 adaptation change I didn't quite like, and that I kind of had a couple bones to pick with. It's just sort of an adaptation analysis of 2 things in the Shadowhunters TV series, and that's pretty much it. So if you're at all interested, you can go check that out on my blog. That's it for me today, you guys, so until next time, cheers.